And hello, everyone. All about the gyro here. And welcome to the latest round of the Jackknife Formula 3 Championship. And we are at an iconic circuit. Once again, we have returned to Belgium. And we are at Spa. So great to have you here. Got about 7 minutes before qualifying. So definitely definitely going to be a very interesting race. The setup is definitely a bit on the loose side. I'm not liking the front end feel of this car very much. This is the fixed setup that we adjust for fuel. And it's just, it is definitely fussy. And you're going to have to drive it in a very careful way. So it's going to be tough today. Yeah, you're just going to have to be very, very cautious on cold tires and the like. So right now I'm at 2:13.4. That is a second and a half quicker than what others are doing at my skill level here. So I'm driving
5 minutes to go. 5 minutes left.
really well compared to my peers. And that time was done when the sun was out, not when it's cloudy. It's going to be a standing start. And the organizers today has said we're flipping the whole field tonight. So it's not going to be top 10. It's going to be a full inversion. So it looks like we got 4, 8, we got 15. So it's going to be a full inversion tonight. I expect a lot of death and carnage. This is going to be the ones where the endurance part of this, which is 18 laps here with a fuel stop, that's where I think our superior skills for endurance racing will come to the fore. But the sprint is definitely not going to be a gimme. A lot of close cars within draft distance. Now, the thing about my time is I have done it out of the draft. On race fuel, some of these times are on the quali setup. So, great to have you here. We got Mr. Salad Man in here. A lot of our cars are already in the lane. We're ready. Alexander's going out. So great to have you here. I'm doing a little bit better this week. A little bit better. A lot of stuff going on. We're going to manage it to the best of our ability. So And the fact that the standing starts on the Grand Prix straight, while Source is going to be very, very
Just 2 minutes
crowded.
left. 2 minutes to go.
So we're about to head into qualifying. 15 minutes of qualifying. And here's where we're going to need a draft buddy. And you do not want to be the draft. You do not want to be the draftee. You want to be the drafter. So trying to get these tires up to temp. Is going to be first job here because track temp is only 26 Fahrenheit. We got Vinicius back with us here. We got Rarick going around. Like I said, the times are pretty close. I know there is more pace in this car. I definitely have realized the front of this car is very sensitive. So even the heave spring is very soft. To see Tobias hanging out on the fence. But cold tires, lap 1, coming into La Source and Lacombe, I would say probably all the way around until you get some heat in the brakes and in the tires. This is a tricky little car. So we're going to go straight into qualifying here.
Looks like you're clear on the pit exit. All right, Dwayne, we've got 14 minutes to set a lap.
Clear right. On your right. Clear right.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 79 Fahrenheit.
Stavalo's still a little bit of a problem on cold tires. You can hear the front slide. Hello, Mark. Good evening to you. We just started qualification, so I'm trying to get some heat into the tires and into the brakes. Now the good news is I'm a second and a half faster than my skill level here. The bad news is it's afternoon for me, just before 4 p.m. here in Murfreesboro. Bad news is everyone is quick, relatively speaking. I did, but the way I'm doing it is scary. I'm having to put front brake bias forward. It's the only way I can keep the fronts under me. Yeah, spas on those places I do enjoy driving. I'm the same way about Suzuka as well. I actually have a torrid love affair with Suzuka. So I'm having to go front, back, front on the brake bias. So this is just an understeering setup. Like there's an example right there. I can't get on the brake any harder than that.
The leader's just done a 211.7.
Because you'll lose the rear.
2.2 off the leader's pace. You've just done a 213.9.
Yeah, Suzuka, I'm so excited. So excited. I drive very well at Suzuka. It's a track that requires everything.
The guy behind has just done a 214.3.
Okay, that's fine, but I did 213.8, which means I'm 2 seconds faster than the official. Just phenomenal. But I have that much pace. 2 seconds quick. But yeah, the front, right there, I can't get on the gas because the front is very soft. And I want it a little stiffer here.
Okay, Dwayne, you've got half your fuel left.
So, yeah, it's a very understeery setup, and it feels like the tires just don't grip. Very, very slick. Even though it was set up in high downforce configuration. It's just slick.
E7, you're now 1.9 seconds off the pace. Your lap time was 213.5.
Because when you try to attack the corners, the rear is sliding. So I'm having to avoid first gear as much as possible. But in first gear, the car just wants to spin.
Now delete this lap, track limits.
I Like here, you gotta wait on the car.
The leader has just done 211.3.
So I'm gonna come in and pit, take some fuel. Thank you very much. We will need it. This car. Very, very tricky. The set is very loose.
Look out for the pit speed limit. Box in
Loose.
280 meters. Box in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
I'll just take 10 liters here.
The car ahead has just done a 213.3. Your exit is clear. Watch the white line.
Yeah, you gotta be very careful about being in first gear here because the car just wants to spin. So I've been having to drive this in second gear on the slow corners. So that I can get the car around. So what I've done is I've taken a little bit of fuel. I'm going to try to light one up here. Hot tires. Because when the timer runs out, that's it. We do not let you finish your lap. So, getting in and out of the pits, very important. So I'm trying to hang here with Heinrich so I can get the draft. Hello, Andy. How are you? So here, if you take this in
Right.
first, you'll loop the car.
V12.
Well, I got hot tires, so I'm going to see if that can get me some pace in the middle third, which is my strong first spot. Is the middle third from Lecombe to Stavolo. And whatever car I drive, I tend to drive that very, very well. So I don't mind giving up 2/10 here. I can make it up. Darn it.
Okay, Dwayne, we need to watch these track limits.
I just got off track. I was pushing really hard. All right, so we're gonna make the next one really good. Now, if you put it in first here, a crown and bus stop is really, really bad. So Tobias is trying to set himself up.
Got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Not yet, but you know. But you know, if they don't behave, we will issue FIA 5-second timeouts. Okay. How are you, Matt? So, good news. I actually am starting where I want to start because I'm expecting a lot of death. So, 9 laps, standing start. So, who is going to make errors? Because it's very interesting. Chris Lindenau, who is pretty good in these cars, didn't get a quality time in. Michael De La Sala, who is faster than me in practice, didn't get a quality time in. Heinrich and I are pretty similar in pace, but I know what the car is going to do. And as the fuel burns off, you're going to have to keep up with those brake bias changes. So it's going to be a very interesting sprint race. I'm expecting to do better in the feature race of 18 laps. Of course, I said that, and look what happened at Phillip Island last week with P3 and P5. If I do that here, wow, that's all I'm going to say. Okay, we're going to start at 54.8 because we need
minutes.
the fronts to get warm.
Okay, Dwayne, stay calm.
All right, here we go.
Go, go, go.
Once again,
Left side. Clear left. Car left. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
once again, the Demon starter has gotten off the line again.
On your left. Still there. Hold your line. Clear left. Car left. Clear left.
Yeah, you just missed another start.
Left side. Hold your line. Clear left. Clear left. Car left. Hold your line. Clear left.
I'll take the off track here because, for one reason, I need to clean the tires. But now you saw what happened. Cold tires. I went for the braking zone, and the car did not stop. That is what I was afraid of. And somehow I didn't hit anything. But once again, best start in the field. And I know I got the pace of the next couple of guys ahead of me. Once I settle down. Well, I trust Michael. He knows I'm there. He knows I'm not going to run into him. And so that's why I gave him space. He gave me space. Solid.
P8. We think P6 has binned it in La Source.
That is behind me. You see the car is so cold. It just does not want to stop right now.
What is that?
Car left. Still there. Still there. Still there. Left side.
Oh, that was hot.
Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
That's good racing right there. Chris and I. Yeah, I know. I always do when I see that livery. It's such a good livery. Chris and I, once again, having good racing. And now I can start getting the car working. But the front is so soft that I can't get the car to rotate on the fixed. So if Chris decides to send it here, I'm not going to fight him. Because it's a full reverse.
The leader has just done a 212.3. Seventh position. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.3 off the pace.
So 9 laps. Chris. I didn't know if Chris had a bad exit out of the source, but
All right, Dwayne, pit window open. The gap to Lindenau behind is now 0.9. We'll need to pit for fuel 26 minutes into the race.
now the front's just starting to come in a little bit. He just had an off track. Now, according to stats, my pace should be 2:14.9 for my skill level. Okay. So, I know I got plenty of pace for my skill. The problem is, the drivers near me are higher skilled.
The leader has just done a 2:11.9.
So you note I'm in second gear there.
Okay, Dwayne.
So when I step
hold
on
your
the
nose,
gas,
just
the
keep
car
it
just
smooth,
rotates
no
out.
mistakes. He's quicker than you into Lacoon. Sector 2 is 0.9 off the pace.
So,
You're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 1.1 seconds.
trying to give it as least steering angle as I can. Now, if Chris gets up to me here, so I'm going to really take the angle away here. Because I know this set understeers. I'm going to try to drive it a little more shallow and focus on corner exit. Because I think that's how I'm going to get Tobias. There's 2 Tobias in the race. Mr. Sec, Mr. Trub.
We think P6 has gone off in campus.
And that is what happens with an understeering setup. And you do not get the apex correct. You will loop this car every time. That is a position gained.
There's an incident in the chicane. It looks like Jacobson. B6.
Now Chris should get on his horse. So watch how he will set this up here. He has set this up all the way out of La Source. Yet he can't get by. So he may have damage. Tell Jackknife the following. No, I had a tasty sandwich for lunch today. But if Chris wants to deliver it, he needs to bring some breadsticks.
It's all over you. Keep your exit speeds up. Stay smooth. They're quicker than us entering turn 13. The gap to Linden out behind is increasing. It's now 0.9.
Oh, and I want those breadsticks cheesy, Jackknife, with marinara sauce, please.
In the chicane.
get that going on the broadcast.
You've just done a 2:13.2. That's your best lap in the session.
Now, what this tells me is I'm actually got better overall pace, is he's only keeping up with me in the draft. When I get into the middle third, I'm able to pull away.
You've got half your fuel left.
Which means if Chris has damage, it's probably to the front wing. He also may be playing a little cat and mouse here. Remember, Chris has won earlier this year in Olton Park.
Okay, Dwayne, don't let this guy distract you.
So he knows how to win. Now notice he has decided to put in his quick lap, so I expect an overtake. Nope. Ah!
Incident in the chicane. Looks like it's Linden out. The guy in front is Anderson.
That is what
All
happens
right.
on a loose setup.
Clear right.
E9, you'll need to slow down to give back the time gained. You'll need to slow down a bit if you don't want a penalty. There's an incident in La Source. We think it might be Linden out.
But
I am not happy with this setup. So freaking loose on brakes. Okay, you notice my car. Everyone behind me, I got a broken car, so be very careful when you get around me.
On your right. Clear right. Right side. Hold your line. Clear right.
It's almost like I got no rear wing.
Got 20 minutes remaining. You've got 20 minutes left. Okay, Dwayne, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Yeah. You see how I have no acceleration?
The gap in front has increased to 2.2 seconds.
Loose car.
The gap behind has now decreased to 3.1.
And if you have no rear, this is what happens, because the rears without the wing don't get enough push.
Watch your
Like,
speed. Pit
I
lane speed limit is
forewarned
50
everybody
miles per hour.
in the
Okay,
Discord.
continue to the end.
I forewarned everyone in the Discord.
Box in, 5,
This car is
3,
loose.
2, 1. Box now.
I mean, loose.
Pit exit's clear.
The only reason why I've gone out is if 2 other cars have issues in front of me, I get a point. I mean, I took normal braking and turned the car and it snapped. See, Eric just had a pit. No front end feel. It just does not turn.
Okay, Dwayne, we're at the halfway point. We estimate 7 minutes of fuel left.
Because I wanted to use a 90 Newton heave, and it's only a 60. It's amazing what that little change does because there's no, and this is a high downforce setup, but it's not
You're reeling this car in. The gap's now 16 seconds.
balance.
Slower than us into the chicane.
It's just not very good. It's very rear oriented. Very rear oriented.
E11, white flag, 1 more lap.
Someone ahead of me has got to have an issue for me to get a point. See, there it is. It just doesn't
Track
turn.
limits, watch those lines.
Does not turn. Terrible setup. The front just does not want to hook up. Like I'm having to wait every time in Puhan for the front end to catch up.
Okay, Dwayne,
Awful.
just cut the track.
Awful. Normally, it's a slight understeer, and then as the car gets in, it balances out. This car is not balanced out. Has not balanced out. So I may have to try something very different.
We think P5 has binned it in. La Source.
So there I am. Same braking point, no problem. Same braking point.
P11, okay, it's over.
So, I hate that. I hate that set. Okay, so I definitely did have front wing damage. So Chris decided, okay, he's now going to get forward. He was laying back, playing possum. Okay. Okay, let's see when I brake. And okay. So I brake right here. My normal brake is here. We're going to roll it forward. On the brake, on the brake, on the brake, on the brake, on the brake.
Checkered flag,
Okay, and it
E5.
moved me over. But when I went to turn, the whole rear swung. It's, and let me show you what I'm talking about here since we have 5 minutes. Okay, so fixed setup from iRacing. This is, and we adjusted for fuel. So they've gone high downforce. And so it's 11 on the front. So the rear is 10, but the beam angle, so if, I don't know if it'll do it. Yeah. Okay. So this is the lower part of it. So I'll show you what I mean by beam angle here. Let me. Okay.
The track temperature is
It's
decreasing.
this
It's now
undercarriage
79
bit right here.
Fahrenheit.
There we go. So is this part underneath in the dark? So what they've done is they have 11 in the front and the rear is slightly behind because they're expecting with the arrow to do this. The problem is they added 4 units in the back. And so the car is actually going back this way in every corner. So instead of it going slightly forward, the car feels like it's going back. And that's why you hear me saying this is a terrible setup. Because what happens is when the let me switch panes here and you'll see what I'm doing. Okay. So here is let me get a darker one. It's terrible. Welsh, the fixed setup is garbage. Okay. So there we go. So front of the car, actually let me flip it around. Front of the car, wing. Instead of it being neutral, they've made it like that. That's what it feels like in the corners. It has no front end feel at all, no front end grip, nothing. It's terrible. Terrible. Yeah, this car's understeering so bad. This is a high downforce car, but what they've done is they've prioritized straight line speed. Actually, let me do that because it'll look correct. The front's in the air to get it like this, which is fine for straight line running. But when you take the arrow off, it does that in every slope-based corner. It's terrible. No, you got to put some in the front so you get the front to dive. So you get the rake working positively instead of negatively, which is not how you set up an F3. Like, this is the worst iRacing fixed setup I've driven on the service for F3 specifically. This is terrible. The heave is wrong. The rake is wrong. why am I looping it in a second gear chicane? And it wasn't just a small loop, it was a 180-degree loop, and Chris has nowhere to go. Terrible setup. So I'll put it back here, and I'll show you here. So this right here is what I'm referring to. So they're banking on this being a straight line setup. Well, if you're going to do that, that explains why this is not at 90, it's at 60. So I go into Lake Calm, I hit the brakes, the car has no feel. I somehow missed everybody. But even I'm going to sit there and say, Bruce, I need to be reprimanded for that. I know that.
That's the end of the session, P5.
So, terrible. Terrible set. And now I got to figure out how to drive it. Okay, if I go 2 clicks forward, get the fronts hooked up. Yeah, okay.
.45 The track temp is 79. The air temp is
Okay.
75 Fahrenheit. Heads up, we're going green. Green, let's go, let's go.
Oh, crap. I just had a glitch. Wheel disconnect, wheel disconnect,
Need to
wheel
come in for
disconnect.
repairs. They've shown us the meatball flag.
My whole system lagged, and I'm turning, and it just went that way. Okay. Not my round. Well, the racing gods in. So, I felt the wheel go dead numb. I just hard lagged, and I don't know why.
Pit exit's clear, push.
Well, maybe. I may get a hole-in-one tomorrow. No, it is the first, but what has been happening is there's a Windows update that has gone wrong on this computer, and that is why. It's not the wheel that's failing, it's Windows dropping the USB controller. So, like the wheel just, yeah, see? What a terrible setup. How do you not get like home right, for Pete's sake? All right. So, but it's the USB controller, and it's the driver that's unparking. That's what's causing the wheel, because I lost complete force feedback. Like all the force feedback just lost it. But we do not give up. So, and the issue is Microsoft this year alone has had 4 issues with audio breakages in their updates. 4 this year. But
13.
I see, perfect example. Take a normal line through the source, and the car just doesn't turn. And this is a track that's going to get raced often. So how do you get this so wrong? How do you get this so wrong? Like, you almost have to drive every corner shallow here, and that's not how you drive this track fast.
The leader's just done a 212.8.
We do not give up. A long race. I've had my misfortune early. And there's a part of me that's very happy Chris is leading, because I hated him getting in my mess.
That lap was a 213.8.
Tobias is in the lane. And the only thing that I have hope is those 3 cars are slow. But I gotta drive very clean all the way home. See, another example. No front end feel. Try to get on the gas, and I can't feel the front end. So what I've done is I've moved the bias to the back, and I'm going to drive this like a Spec Racer Ford. And in that car, I won 3rd in my division here in iRacing. And everyone, you know, they tease about, oh, it's the bathtub, you know. But that car teaches you how to brake correctly. It's a fantastic car. Do a season of Spec Racer Ford, you'll be a better driver for it. See, okay. So I can feel the rears. Now we're going to start moving forward.
P12, good lap, that's your best in the session.
well, it's a fixed setup, but it's Windows unparked the USB driver, which unparked the wheel. So everything went for about 5 seconds. And now I'm racing like hell to try to figure out, yeah, Windows, gotta love it. I mean, whole computer lagged and had no force feedback. Awful. But I know that I drive best when I have adversity and well, I'm staring right into it.
The car ahead's pitting now.
That will be early. And we will have to pit for fuel. Keep that in mind. This is a hard car to drive as it is. You don't need your computer fighting you. So Eric has had to pit for damage. But what I need is 2 people to have some issues in the tow. See, right there. Hello, front end. How about you actually hook up if you were set up correctly? You absolute muppet. No wonder Tanner left, because he was the one guy that actually had halfway decent fixed setups. Like, it's just, the way that the weight transfer is very off. Very off.
Pit window is open. Alright, Dwayne, we'll need to pit for fuel 25 minutes into the race.
So here in Puhan, here's why, and a very unusual thing for me, I am complaining so virulently. So in Puhan, so in the R8, when you turn the car in, you feel the weight. So you know exactly what to do. In this car, because of the negative rake, what's happening is in Puhan, the front is up. So the fronts are not biting into the corner. And it's a very scary ride through Puhan. Scary. Like, it's scary.
Sector 1 is
hello, old slow.
Off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace.
I am driving a non-gyro approved setup. It is very poor. And it is terribly balanced. So, not very good. Windows decided to unpark all of my USB devices right at the standing start. So I crashed. Luckily I didn't take anyone out. Like just unparked. But, you know, the racing gods give and the racing gods take.
That's half fuel.
And
You've used
Phillip
half your
Island,
fuel.
you know, everything worked for us. This meeting, everything is against us. And so it's balanced out. God, why? Oh, the brakes are just, ugh. And yeah, I've been ranting for a good 10 minutes, which is very unusual for me, about how bad this setup is.
We just had a warning for cutting the track.
Like, it's abysmal. So, just trying to get the car. See? Look at that. Same braking point. No, I don't want to stop because my arrow is screwed up. It's a fixed league. That's the problem. Trust me, if I had, see, same braking point.
Stay between the lines, please, Dwayne.
Sound like Pablo. Good Lord. But no, the rake is bad. The rear is bad. It's too soft. Way too soft. The springs and torsion bars are too soft. That is why Lake Home is so hard.
10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Hello, Carol. How are you? Yeah, Automod is aggressive. But, you know, sometimes you just have to take the good with the bad. So my only strategy I have... Oh, Carol, they put negative rake in the setup. The front end is higher than the rear. You can't feel the front. Watch this. I turn in, and the car... You can't tell if the car's going to stop or not. Like, it's... So here's the scary thing. See, once again, understeer. My best is 2:13.1. For my skill level, that's 1.8 seconds faster than what's going on in the officials. No wonder people are so slow in the fixed, and it's because of the way this car has been set up. Look at that. Look at that. Normal braking. No, I'm just going to push. Like, it's negative rate. Now watch here. I go in. Oh, I can't feel it, can't feel it. Oh, finally. So the part of the corner that you need to feel the front, you don't. And it's almost like whoever wrote this said, okay, I'll set it up for Campos. And the slow speed corner like here at Stavolo, and then that's it. And it's awful. It's not embarrassment level. That would be very strong. But this set needs to be audited for next season. It needs to be changed. Add some more front heave spring iRacing. That way we can feel the front end. Like that right there. That looked like I did really good. I'll tell you, I was scared to death I was going to loop it. And I brake. Oh, look at that. Gee, I wonder what that was. Understeer. And that's all the car's doing. All it's doing is I take a normal line and I turn in and it just push, push, push. And so when you try to back it up and cater to the push, then it hooks up. Okay, did you hear the skipping tone just now?
Linden out is now leading.
That's the front bouncing. That's what you're hearing. In like home. It was too soft. It's a good thing I had a good race weekend last week. Here in Campos, it's actually nice. Nice. Stavolo, nice.
Okay,
but
Dwayne,
these are
estimate you've got 5 minutes.
These are flat corners. These are flat corners. Those are easy to set up a car for. So iRacing, if you're listening to this, take it from a set maker. Set your F3 up for Pujon. When you do that, you will get Lake Home correctly.
Time was at 2:13.6. Sector 2 is 1.3 seconds off the pace. That's good consistency. Keep it up. Very little fuel left. In this lap. Box this lap.
Those are the two corners you need to set up a car for. Pujon and Lake Home. Those two corners right, everything else works out. This car is not set up for those two corners, and it shows. Please change it. Please change it. As when F3 gets here next season, I'm going to see if you've actually have changed the setup to address this issue. Okay, look at that. See how the car pushed and then finally gets in? It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to actually come in. It doesn't do that. Finally. See? I get it off track.
Run out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Because you can't feel the front.
Should be about 2 minutes of fuel remaining.
We'll be pitting this time for fuel.
We're running on fumes, mate. Box this lap, please, Dwayne.
And the thing is I know what I'm talking about because I know how to set up a car. I'm not just your typical person. I know how to set up a car.
That's half a gallon of fuel left.
Yep. Gee, I'm understeering into the pit lane.
What's your speed limit in the pits?
That's how bad
Inland
this
speed
setup
limit
is.
50 miles per hour. We'll fuel you to the end of the race. Box in 5. 4,
Phillip Island last
3,
week. Mwah, chef
2,
kiss.
1. Box now.
Fulton Park, great setup. So I'll get a new wing. We're okay. We're cool.
Hit exit's clear. Disengage limiter.
Tobias has to pit. It's no wonder people in the fix have been driving so slowly. And I'll show you what I'm talking about at the end of the race, why I'm up in arms about the set. See, I turn, car does not turn in.
The gap in front is increased. It's now about 12 seconds.
This does not turn in.
Okay, Dwayne, double chances here. Let's make sure we can take them. That's 20 minutes to go.
Turn, 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 and see how the car pushes out. This is an aero car. It should be coming in when you're off the throttle. And it's because the front is so soft that the tires get overworked in the front and it gives up. That is what you're seeing here. So yeah, I wish it was a better race. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. And last week we were the windshield. Today, we're the bug.
Come on, keep digging. B13.
And the thing is, this is not Jackknife's fault because we're using the iRacing setup. This isn't something he organized. This is something that he chose in good faith. Oh, that is not an on-track
Okay,
iRacing.
going out of track
Communist.
limits. Keep it between the lines.
It's just awful. But we soldier on because I don't give up. And I know in these races there's always a lot of action toward the end. Don't go soft around Spa. You have to have enough stiffness to take Pujon correctly.
The gap in front is now 13 seconds.
See, I can't feel the front end, so I can't figure out where the car's going mid-corner. So unlike the R8 where you always know mid-corner where you're at, because the front and the rear are disconnected, it doesn't give me any confidence to drive this car correctly. But yeah, iRacing, what I will do is I will offer the setup that I wrote for the F3, and Jacobson has disconnected. We will move up a spot. The Flappy may have had an issue, but iRacing, I will hand you the setup for the fix that I wrote, and I guarantee it will be half a second faster. Because you can feel the front. And you need your players who are not on direct drives to feel the front. They need to have enough feel in the Logitech and Thrustmasters to take these corners and know that they're going to make it out the other side. And this doesn't do it. Doesn't do it. Yeah, there it is again. You can't get on because the car is sliding.
The gap in front is
sideways.
It's now 15 seconds.
Just slides.
Minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
So the only thing that I have for hope is that 2 more cars have an issue that are ahead of me. Now the big thing is Tobias Sek has had a very bad race meeting.
V12.
Now, who's done their homework and what this car does at the end? We know the number 6 has to pit. So, we need 1 person.
The car behind's pitting now.
Like, even now that the fuel's burnt off, the tires are nice and hot and sticky. In the faster corners,
The gap in front has increased to 16 seconds.
in the faster corners, and we're not talking like Blanchimont, we're talking like the medium speed corners, it feels like it's taking 2 steps to make the corner instead of 1. Very disconnected. I come in. Oh, there's the rear trying to step out. Now I gotta wait for the rear to catch up. It's not working together.
All right, Dwayne, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
So I need one person to have an issue. Right there, almost lost it again. Even though it looked nice, almost lost it. Because the rear just does not work with the front. So
The gap in front is increasing. It's now 17 seconds.
So, and that's the thing about driving fixed series is figuring out what the car is doing. That's Tobias coming in the pit, I believe.
The car in front is pitting.
Okay.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
There's the front.
Lap time was 2:14.0. Sector 2 is 1.1 off the pace.
Okay, how has Tobias got in front of me when he towed? That right there makes me scratch my head a little bit. See how the car just... Oh, very nice, Andy. Yeah, Snail League is wonderful league. Wonderful league. I think you will like it. It's because we'll have open setups. So we will have the FTVM set.
The gap in front has increased. It's now about 4.5 seconds.
Oh no, Lindenau's in the lane. What has happened? Oh no, don't tell me he had an issue. I wouldn't worry about Hungaro Ring. Worry about Suzuka. Because when I publish that set, watch out, the R8 will be fantastic in Suzuka. I guarantee it. It will be fantastic. So we've gained a spot. And now I need... Okay, I just realized how Tobias did it. Because I somehow overfueled and I don't know how. Oh, 60%, that's why. Yep, let's slide. And since the leader is behind me, I don't have to get over because they're half a minute behind. Tobias should be pulling away. So I think what he did, see, I'll just take the off track because this car just doesn't turn.
Track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Just doesn't want to turn.
Okay, Dwayne, 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
So 2:13.1, fastest lap. See? Car just washes. So bad.
E12, white flag, last lap.
So bad. You know, I was really looking forward to this because I wanted to follow up my good vein of form, and I never had a chance.
We're going to hold this position.
Shut up, Jim. I mean, I've taken out 15 seconds on P9. 15.
The gap ahead is now 5.6.
But clearly, I was not meant to do well this week. So we're just going to shrug our shoulders. Yeah, let's just push again.
Pay attention to track limits, please, Dwayne.
Terrible. How do you get a car so wrong at one of the most traveled tracks on the service? Defies logic.
Track limits.
I don't care right now, Jim. The setup is trash.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. That's the end of the race. We'll get him next time.
Absolutely hot trash. So, note the time, 2:13.149. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what the average times are. And you will see why I'm completely up in arms about this. Okay. Let me cut over to the browser here. Okay, so here's the times. How am I 1.8 seconds faster than the average? Now, let me refresh this to make sure I have, okay, we went down a thousandth of a second. How am I 1.8 seconds faster on a very bad setup? That means your customers are having to drive a very bad car. Okay? Matter of fact, we just had the 315. Notice it's fixed. Let's have a gander. Let's have a gander. Let's look at the times. Strength of field 1587. I am 1527. Okay. I rest my case. Fastest lap 2:13.4. That's in the draft. My time is out of the draft. Out of the draft. 3/10 faster. That means a lot of people are struggling with this car, and it's because it understeers. There's the proof right there. There it is. Fixed 1587, similar skill level. It's hot trash. Terrible. I want to apologize for those who came in, was hoping for a good race. Car refused to drive. It was almost undrivable at times. The way that the car was working, terrible. But I do appreciate the fact that you were all here for this. And we will get after it next week. I got to find out where next week is, because you will not see me this weekend. I have other commitments that I need to attend to that I will be enjoying. So right now, it's Zolder next week. Zolder. I like Zolder. I have more laps than anyone in the F3 League at Zolder because of the 2-time running of Jimmy Broadbent's 23-hour Zolder for charity. Yeah, I'm going to like that. And I bet you the setup will be better. In Suzuka and GT3, that will not be this Sunday. It's going to be the following Sunday. So, yeah, this wasn't our day. What it is, and we'll go from there. Anyway, my friends, thank you for being here. I don't think I'm going to be streaming Sunday. So the next time I'll be on is with WGTC Round Trace from Monza. 3 20-minute sprint races, oh dear God. So, and I will have the Suzuka set ready. Do we know where IMSA is next week? Anybody know that? Because, I mean, we have Road America, which has been awesome. Long Beach. VRS at Suzuka, winning. IMSA at Long Beach, and I tend to drive Long Beach well, winning. And F3 is older. That's a quality week right there. Let's go. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate you from here. As always, my friends, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. God bless.